If you track with the channel, you know we're always looking out for great game recommendations, and this week we're working with PlayStation to look at some really great PlayStation 5 games for the family. Having had the console in our family for quite a while now, we've had a good chance to play through the majority of the games that are suitable for younger audiences, and also get to grips with what does the PlayStation 5 offer to the family over previous experiences. We've particularly liked the controller. It is similar to the DualShock 4, the PlayStation 4 controller, and so it'll be familiar to you. It has the same sort of buttons, triggers, sticks, but it has some additional features that have really made some of the games we play stand out. First up, the kind of the vibration, the haptic feedback in the controller is much more detailed, so you can really feel what's going on in the games. There's some moments in Astros Playroom where it's raining and you feel that tip-tapping on the controller in your hands, which is a really nice addition to that experience. Also, it has these kind of force feedback triggers, so when you're doing things in the game, the triggers there will be harder or easy to push, or will click in different ways, or will kind of rattle, or will kind of resist you pressing them. And again, that adds to that kind of sense of immersion. Along with that, some features in the PlayStation operating system have made a massive difference. We love the activity cards for loads of games, which means if you're stuck or you want to find more things in the game, you basically pause, go to the PlayStation button and bring up the activity cards, and they will not only tell you things you can do, they'll tell you how long it will take to do them. If you've maybe got a quick 15 minutes to play something, that's really useful. But if you get stuck, it will tell you what you need to do. It will show you a video of how to get through that next stage of the game, and you can pin that to the side of the screen so that you can play along with that video. So I think features like this do make the PlayStation 5 a great option for families, but let's have a look at some specific games. The first game on our list is Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. This is a great game if you want some exuberant adventures and fun. There's lots of shooting, lots of kind of matinee fisticuffs, as you kind of go on this adventure as these characters that you really learn to love. The gameplay is pretty simple and straightforward, so it's really accessible, and we enjoyed that in our family. Everyone could get in and have some fun, but at the same time there's a real sense of developing skills as you learn how the different weapons work. So that's a great choice if you want that kind of backslapping, exuberant matinee adventure. The next game I want to talk about is much more kind of on the creative, cute end of the spectrum, and it's Sackboy: A Big Adventure. Now this is up to 4 players, you can play it single player, just as much fun, and you go on kind of a platforming puzzle experience where you're exploring this world, you're collecting items to customise your character, but the real fun is just kind of some of the comedy that happens while you're playing, the characters you meet in the game, and what is actually quite a challenging platforming game at times that kind of is well suited for younger players, but also is enough of a challenge for the more kind of mature, more experienced players in the family. And we certainly enjoyed this, taking turns on different levels, playing summer levels together, and just really getting involved with this Sackboy character who dates back to the Little Big Planet games that we used to enjoy. Now, Astros Playroom is another game we really need to talk about. It's easy to overlook because it's a free game you get with the PlayStation 5, but it offers a platforming experience which is really unique, really unusual, and really introduces the different aspects of that PlayStation 5 experience. It centres around the controller, so you control this little robot character who's exploring the world, collecting coins, but interacting in really different ways. So sometimes you're tugging on electrical cables to unplug stuff. Sometimes you're pulling back the bow of a bow and arrow to shoot things. Sometimes you're a monkey scaling a wall. But however you do that, it's using the motion of the controller, it's using the feedback of the triggers. So sometimes, like if you're pulling a bow and arrow, you pull back and you feel the click because it's changed the tension of that button on the controller. The game itself is a lot of fun. There's loads to explore and loads to find, many reasons to replay levels. And as you play, it also takes you through a history of the PlayStation, right back to the PlayStation 1. So there's a lot of fun for parents there as a trip down memory lane. The next game on our list is Kina, Bridge of Spirits, that takes us into that kind of teen adventure fantasy experience where you are exploring a world with some fantastical creatures. You're this young character who is helping these ghosts that she meets kind of come to peace with what's happened and then sort of be on their way. And so this real kind of quite deep story is experienced, but through exploring the world, battling enemies, powering up with different attacks and different weapons, but getting to know the character and how she works. It's a really kind of lovely story that draws you in, and it reminds us a bit of Knack, which we've enjoyed on PlayStation as well. It makes really good use, again, of the PlayStation controller, but offers a great substantial challenge for all in the family. And as you can see, as well as the kids playing it, our parents and grandparents also got in on the action, which was a real novelty. There's a sort of a sense that because there's more to the game, it draws you in. And as you can see, Granny was keen to get involved and actually found that she could progress through the game and contribute to this family experience in ways she hadn't expected. So Kina Bridge of Spirits is really worth checking out, and one I think the whole family can enjoy. The last game on our list today is one that's become really close to our heart. It's a game that's more than a game because you use it as a tool to create all sorts of experiences. So this might be to create your own game, this might be to create music, this might be to create art. It's of course Dreams, which is this amazing PlayStation tool that you can play on PlayStation 5 that really opens the door to children creating on the PlayStation rather than just consuming games. This might be create something that's like a platform game or a racing game or a sports game, but equally, as we found in my family, it's an experience where we just get a chance to just hang out, and sometimes we'll sculpt something, sometimes someone wants to make some music, and then these things come together, and often what we've created is way and above what we imagined possible. It's also lovely as a space to do this dream surfing thing where you go and discover the games that are available. And there's some really lovely, fully featured games that could easily be released in their own right. And for the price of entry, you get access to all of those for free, so it's a really good value. So there you go, that's our look at PlayStation 5 ahead of Christmas. I hope that's given you insight into what the console offers and what perhaps the best games might be for your family.